Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
There is one screw holding this on and the rest is clips. So it is actually a T20 Torx. Remove this T20 Torx screw. Put that aside. You can actually grab onto this plastic, start to pull it out. It'll unclip. You can pull this out if it helps. All it is, this is the door so you can get to the fuse panel. Pull it out. So under here, there's a clip that goes in this way. So you can't pull it off, so you're just gonna pop this out. Just enough, it'll slide right out. It's got the hood cable attached to it and the diagnostic cable attachment. I'm actually gonna pull the lever and you'll probably hear the hood release when you do it, but you wanna pop the cable out. So you're gonna kind of pull this down and then flip that up. And you can pop the cable out by pushing it over. Basically, it's this little lead weight lock piece that sits in here and then locks into this opening here. And you kind of just have to pull the cable up so it moves it into the slot so it can be popped out. It's just hard to see with all the plastic around it. I'm going to take some needle nose and just sort of turn the cable so I just use the pliers to pry it up and out where it was locked into the plastic here. Now I want to remove the diagnostic port. Be real careful not to damage this. So it's got two tabs on each side. I'll actually just use these pliers just to push them in a little bit and then pull on it from the back side. Slide it right out of there. And then flip this around. The harness has a little push clip in here. Get some little lock tabs I can squeeze. The needle nose. So what I did was I pushed the needle nose in there and just squeezed on these tabs to push them in and then pulled it out. Now with that, I can just move this out of the way. Put our plastic trim out of the way. I'm gonna remove this knee pad steel thing that's under here. It's got 4 10mm bolts that are holding it in. Just gonna remove these. Four bolts removed. It's got little tabs here. Just lift it off of those. And we'll put that aside. Next, remove the steel bracket. There's a 10mm nut holding on to the stud here. Reach in with the socket extension, loosen it up, reach in and grab it. Following the bracket up from the first nut, there's a second nut located up higher. You need a socket extension and a swivel joint. 10mm to get to it. You might not need to remove this bracket, but for our purposes, it's going to help make the video clearer to show you what we're doing. So just kind of wiggle it off. I let gravity kind of pop the nut down. It fell into here. Before I take this metal bracket out, now I can remove this plastic. This is part of the heater system. It blows hot air under your feet. Just clips under the heater box. You just kind of grab it, just pop it off. It pulls right out. Got a couple tabs on it. It just snaps into place. Fiddle with this bracket a bit. turn it. Maneuver it out of here. So it's basically just a steel support structure under your dash. Kind of holds that knee plate. When you step into your brake pedal, that pushes this little rod under here. So before we can remove this brake pedal assembly, we need to remove this E-clip that's holding it on. So I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, get a hold of it. Pull it straight out. This is U-shaped. This pin has to come out first. So it's got two tabs on it, these white locking tabs. I'm going to push it in like that. I'll take my needle nose pliers again and kind of push the two locking tabs in like that. Just push it right out. Reach behind, pull the pin out. Leave it just like that. Now it's loose. You don't have to pull it all the way out of this piece here. Those plastic locking tabs are going to stop it, so you don't want to break them off. Don't pull it too hard. Now I can unplug the electrical connectors here for the brake pedal switches. Push in the lock tab. Pull this one off. Do the same for this one. Got a 13mm deep socket for the nuts that are holding on the brake pedal assembly. We go over long studs. I'm going to start with the top one. Remove it. Reach up and grab it. I'm going to remove this one down here. I need to unclip this harness from the brake pedal assembly. It's got push clips in here. You really can't see what I'm doing because it's inside the steel, but I'm just going to push in with my fingers, the little release tabs. Get 1.5 kind of pulled out. Now, I just kind of pulled it out once I pushed in one of the tabs that I could get to. And we'll put the harness up over here out of the way. Unplug the electrical connection to the brake, to the throttle pedal or gas pedal. Push the lock in and pull that off. This harness is clipped into the steel as well with the same type of push-in clip. So I'm going to reach up with my fingers and push in one of the locks. Pull it out. So I've pushed that harness out. I'm just going to slide this up and out of the way. Now I can get to the two 13mm nuts that are on studs just above each other on the back side here. Might be hard to see. There's two of them in here. Loosen that one up. Loosen this one up. Pull this out. There it is. Luckily when stuff falls, it just falls in the driver's side floor here. So I just had to maneuver it off of that pin. It goes through. I'm pulling it straight off the studs. And taking the whole assembly out. This is your whole brake pedal and throttle pedal assembly. So as we see, there's that pin in here. It's got locking tabs, so now I can push them in, and I'm actually going to pull it out just to make sure it doesn't get caught on anything while I'm working in here. Put that aside in a safe place, you don't want to lose it. Need to reinstall the brake pedal and throttle pedal or gas pedal assembly. So there's two holes here for the studs, and two holes here, one here and one up here. And there's corresponding studs on the firewall. You also need to push the brake pedal back into this plunger part. It's going to go through here. It's a U-shaped thing. It's very important. You want to make sure that that goes in there and gets locked, because that's what actually presses your, when you step on the brake pedal, that's what pushes into the master cylinder and stops your car. This pin will go through there, and then we'll lock it with the E-clip. Slide this up into place. Try not to get the harnesses caught. I'm gonna get this first one caught on the bottom. Just lightly catch it so the thing doesn't, the little assembly doesn't pop off on you. Push that one up in. Get this one caught. And I'm gonna pull these harnesses just out of the way here so I can get to the nuts and studs. So I can catch these two inside ones. Now back to my socket and ratchet. Tighten them down. This pin, you can reach up behind the brake pedal and you're going to go through the piston here. You're just going to find the hole and push it right in. The pin install, reinstall the clip. Clip these harnesses back in place. So this one actually goes, this is the throttle pedal one, the black connector goes down there. This one clips in on the opening on the side, clips in right here. These are, brown one goes in this one. They're coated. You only put one in one way. White one goes here. They'll clip when they're into place. I'm just gonna push that wiring up like that. Plug in the throttle pedal. Clip it into the bracket. There's the opening in the bracket. Clip the harness into the bracket. Install the connector down here. It'll lock into place. Now I have to get this bracket back in place and put these two studs through the openings in the other metal bracket here. Basically just have to maneuver it in place. Up in here. Lightly catch the bottom one. I'm going to take my socket and swivel extension, put the nut in there, and reach up in there and grab it. Pull that out. And now I'll tighten this one. I clip this little air duct back into place. It's got a push clip on that side that's going to get captured, and then these two little push-in tabs that are going to get captured. I'm going to go for this side first. Lines up with this little black tab that's over here. Kind of maneuver this in here. This is pretty soft. You can kind of squish it a little bit. Okay, pop it up in place. Kind of line up with the ducts. Snap it in place, and then it stays right there. I'm going to put this metal reinforcement plate back in. Just hang it right here. You need to put the bolts back into this plate. So it doesn't quite line up with this because I messed with this bracket a little bit. So you just lift it up, line it up. Holes are pretty wide. Switch to my ratchet, tighten these all down. Snug them up. Now we need to reinstall our lower dash panel. I'm going to start with the hood cable. That's going to go, it's going to snap into this opening, and then we're going to have to hook it to the handle part. Just pull it straight in like that, it locks. Now we need to get this through here. Kind of pull the cable out a bit. Get this started by putting the little barrel part, put the little barrel part through here, and then you might have to pull up on the cable and lay it into this groove. Kind of helps to get the barrel part hooked first. kind of twist it up and just over. And just kind of pushing it over like that. Now it's hooked up. I can rotate this over again. Get it caught on the e-brake. Now with that, it's easier now because this harness wasn't connected to do the hood cable. So now I can plug the diagnostic cable harness back in. So that just has these two snap plugs, these two snaps, and alignment tabs here. It's going to go in just like this. And then this is going to clip in here. And now we can push this back up into place. It's got this opening on the outside here. So I'm going to pull out this trim a little bit so it slides up into place. That one's caught. Now we can push these ones in. They just snap in place real lightly. This one goes up like that. It all just snaps back on. Our hood cable works. Push this down a little bit. Reinstall the cover for the fuse panel. Lastly, install the T20 torque screw.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1AAuto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.